Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So let's begin with the next session in the Django REST framework series. In the previous session, we have discussed about how we are going to integrate the sign up and the login form, and we have connected with the Redux, and we have connected the backend endpoints which we have created using Django REST framework. So in this session, we are going to see how we are going to add the logout functionality. So you can see we have done with the login and the sign up part. So we'll see how we are going to see the logout part, and along with that we are going to see the email integration into this session. So in the session number the 8, we have seen how we are going to send emails using Django. We have verified the email address based on the user inputs, whether the email is provided that is a valid or an invalid. So if the email is valid, then we are going to do what? We are going to make the user to be a part of our user's table data, or else we are just going to make that user as an inactive user so that he cannot able to log in into our site. So now we need to connect these things with our front end part as well. So let's begin with the coding part of it. So first and foremost, let's work on to the logout functionality of this page. So how we are going to do the logout functionality? So I'm going to come back to my header.js file into our front end in the src. So we have our into our components, we have our header, so where we are having all our navbar component. So here we are going to see about the information on the users data. So suppose like the user is logged in, so how we are going to access whether the user is logged in or not? So in this case, we are not able to understand whether user has been logged in or not logged in, even no matter you do the sign up and login. So first and foremost, let's get that information from the specific URL. So if I right click, okay, so if I just right click here and inspect the element tool, so in the Redux we can able to see, right, like what is the information we are storing into as a state in the form of a state. So let's go to this specific state stuffs. Let me go to the applications here, and if I just go back to the Redux part of it, and once I go to the Redux of it, and let's it loading it. So you can see here we are able to see some kind of an information of the user. So now if I just come back here, so you can, if I just refresh this specific page, so all the data we are able to see. So we are able to see some kind of a payload of this data, and few of the information we are able to see it over here. So if I just go to the login page of it, and if I just do the sign up, imagine I'm just going to do anis@gmail.com, and if I just enter the password of this, if I just log in it over here, you can see I was able to see the login information over here. Login success, I saw I can able to see some kind of a payload into our login success over here. Now you can see this is an admin. As an admin, I have just logged in the information. So now imagine now how I am able to iterate whether the specific user has been logged in or not. So these things I need to able to check, right? So for that condition, so I'm just going to come back to here in the header. First, I'm just going to access the information over here. So if I just go to the store.js file, and here we have given something called as user login, right? You can see we are given as a user login here. So from the user login, I need to iterate the payload of it. So you can see in the user login, I wanted to get some information that is a payload, sorry, in the user login. Where is it? Yeah, here. I need to get the information that is based on the user login success. I wanted to get the information from this data here. So that is why I'm just going to use the concept here. Let's copy this user login, come back to the header of here. So just create one specific variable, that is a user login is equals to, that is from the specific use selector. So let's make it as a use selector over here. So I need to import this use selector, right, from the React Redux. So I'm just going to import this information, that is I am importing the use dispatch and a use selector from the React Redux over there. So once I use this, I'm able to use this use selector now. So in the use selector, I'm just going to iterate what is the state of it. I'm just going to iterate what is the specific state. So I wanted to iterate from the, that is a state dot, I wanted to iterate the user login state, that is a user login state. I need to iterate it. So let's going to copy this user login, and I'm just going to iterate it. So what happens here is, so whatever the current state of the user login is there, that is going to take it, and it is going to store it into the user login variable. So I wanted to, and after this, then I need to content, I need to get the information. What is the information? I need to get it from the user. So that is nothing but I need to get the information, that is nothing but our user info. So where I can see this user info, if I just go to the applications of it, you can see if I just go to the applications of it, we are storing as a user info, right? You can say I'm storing as a user info as an information of all the data. So I wanted to get this user info information. I need to iterate this specific variable, that is user info, from where I need to iterate it. Basically, based on the user login, I'll be able to get this information. So I'm just going to copy this user login here, and I'm just going to paste it over here. So before this user login, I need to do one thing. Okay, so this is the one thing I need to done. So this is done. So once it is done, I'm going to dispatch it now. So I'm going to use a dispatch. So basically dispatch is going to use dispatch method. This is going to take of the use dispatch, and I'm going to create one specific functionality. Like I'm just going to create one functionality, const logout handler. So this is going to handle our logout system. So this will be a function call. So whenever I click this function, this is going to occur. So at that time, whenever I'm applying this specific logout functionality, I wanted to dispatch the specific function, that is a logout function. I need to dispatch it over there. So let me save this one. So logout function. So let me see whether I don't forget whether I have added the user logout. It is user logout is here, and if I just go to the reducers of it, so whether I have created a user logout reducer, no. And if I just go to the actions, if I just go to the actions of this, you can see we have a login, and we are having the sign up here as well, but we have not worked on to the user logout functionality, right? So let's work on to that functionality of the logout over there. So that will be a very simple one. So come back to the action. So I hope I have imported the user logout here. So I have not imported. Let me import that user logout here. I'm just going to iterate this user logout from the user constant, and I'm going to write one specific function, that is an export, that is a const. So it is a function name I have given there, that I need to create a logout function. So I'm just going to create a logout functionality over here. So in this, I'm just going to take the dispatch event, and I'm going to call the function here. So I'm just going to tell from our local storage, right? So I wanted to remove, whenever I apply user logout function from the local storage, I just wanted to clear the user information. That is, I'm going to just clear the user info over there. Okay, so once I clear this, I wanted to just dispatch it. So what is the dispatch type? I need to pass it here. So I'm just going to tell the type is going to be the user logout. I wanted to dispatch the user logout functionality over here. So that's all. This is the one thing has been completed. So then anything you need to apply into the user register, sorry, the combiner. So in the combiners, there is no need of, okay, in the combiners also I need to apply it. So basically, I'll just come back to our reducer in the reducers, user reducers over here. So whenever the user logs out, I'm just going to make use of here itself. I'm going to use here, I'll just import it. That is our user logout here. So I'm just going to write here one case over here. So whenever the user login, whenever this happens, there is a case of a, whenever there is a case that is going to apply, whenever this is user logout dispatch happens, what you need to do here is, rather than returning a payload, whatever the data, change the correct state to empty. So I'm just going to change it. I'm going to return an empty state to us. So I'm just going to return the, empty state over here. So that's it. Just save this specific part. So now I created an action, and we have created this, and everything has been done now. So now coming back to our that is a header.js. So next, what is the change? You have to do it into the header.js. So in our header.js, I'm just going to apply in the one specific here. So where is here in the bottom of the page? So we have created something called as a user logout, right? So I'm just going to add a few of the conditions over here. So I'm just going to check this part. So if the user is logged in, I don't want it to show him that okay, logout is not defined, it's showing it over here. So I'm just going to come back here, and I'm just going to use that logout function here. So I'm going to tell here a logout, import the logout, done. So it has been imported. So again, I wanted to say like from the user information. So I'm just going to tell here we are having a new user, right? So basically this specific entire li data, I'm just going to make use of okay, where is it starting? It is starting from here, and where it is getting ended. So link container, where it is getting ended, guys. So yeah, the link container is getting ended here. Why it is not able to see this data? Okay, so here something I have done mistake, maybe. Let me verify that. So li is starting here. Where is this li is getting end? Okay, here it is getting ended over here, right? So here it is starting, and there it is getting ended. That's for the new user and this specific part. So now what I'll do here is, this entire data I'm just going to control X. I'm just going to control X this entire data, I'm just going to use one condition here. So if there is a user info, I'm just going to check it as a user info. I'm checking something, right? I'm checking some information that is user info. So if there is a user information exist, if it is exist, if this is data is exist, I'm just going to paste this. I wanted to display this data, or else what you need to display. So or else I'm just going to use the colon over here. So or else again I need to display something. So in this I'm just going to display something over here. So first information. So when the user is there, when the user data is available, so at that time I don't need to show this new user, right? I don't need to show this new user and all those things. What I can show here is I can just display some kind of an information. So I'm just going to tell welcome. I'm just going to tell as a welcome, and here I'm just going to display some information from the user info dot. I wanted to just get the name of the information. So I wanted to just get the f name. Basically I'll just get the f name of the information. So what all the data I'm storing, that I wanted to just check it. So what is the data? I'm just checking it here in the user information. I'm displaying a name, right? So as you can see, I'm displaying a name. So I'm just going to display here as a user dot name over here, welcome user dot name. And if the user information exists, and I don't want they have to go to this one, so I'm just going to make it as an empty slash. And along with that, I don't want this link container to be there, so I'm just going to remove this link container to link container, that is a login. And I don't want this link container here as well. I'm just going to keep it as a link container. So rather than I'm having this, I'm just going to create this division tag. Okay, I'm just going to remove this division tag. Okay, I need to remove from only here to here. So rather and removing this, and I'm just going to just keep it as a slash logut logout over here. So I'm just going to keep it as a okay. Here basically I'm not doing any URL functionality. So even here I don't need this specific stuffs. And again, I don't need this link container. I'm just going to show this, and in my drop down menu, I'm just going to just display it as a logout over here. Okay. And whenever he is clicking onto this, whenever he is going to click onto this, so for that, I'm just going to create something called as on click event. I'm just going to give it to it. So I'm just going to tell here as whenever the user is clicking onto it. So that is on click, right? So whenever a user is clicking onto it, so I need to just simply call this specific method, that is a logout handler function. So I need to just call this logout handler function over here. That's it. Very simple. So once I call this logout handler function, it is going to apply that event over here. So I'm going to right click and format the document. Okay. So once I format the document, so now I hope this you have understood. So once the user data exists, I just wanted to display that user information, and along with that, I'm going to display the logout here. If the user is not exist in this, it is going to come after this colon. This specific data is going to work. If the user is not working, so as it is, it will be like whether the user want to log in or you wanted to just do the sign up, you can do it. And in this case, I don't want this data to be displayed, so I'm just going to remove this logout part from here. So let me save this and see whether the things is working or not. So now if I just come back to here, let me refresh the page over here right now. So you can see I'm able to see something called as a new user over here. So I'm able to see here, right? Let me log in with the data. So I'm just going to tell it as anis@gmail.com. And I'm just going to tell here as Anis. So as an admin, I'm just going to log out. So you can see once I log in from the information, so can able to see welcome Anis Rahman Khan. Got it right? Amazing, right? So this is what I wanted to display. You can see if I just click on to logout, you can see the logout has been successful over here. So there is an issue with this designing part. We'll fix that later. But regarding the functionality wise, I hope you have understood, right? Now I'm just going to log in as erk@gmail.com. I hope I don't know what is the emails I have used and all. Let me test it. test@123. If I log in with this, so I can see if I log in, it is not having a correct credential. Basically, it is not giving a correct information. So let me check at the right click and inspect element tool. And if I just come back to our console, here you can see no route has been matched with this /login. Okay. So here we are getting an error, like let me cancel this, and if I just go back to the Redux part of it, and you can see if I just, you can see it is basically going to a login fail here. Basically it is something like no active account. You can see there is a no active account found with this given credential. Basically whenever this appears this message, I wanted to display, right? That is also the thing is missing in our web application. So coming back to our the login, where is our login component? The login component is here. So where is it? In the screens, we have a login screen here, right? So here I wanted to display the message. Like if there is some kind of a message, I want to display that specific message, guys. That's important. You can see if there is any message, I wanted to just display that specific message. But the things are here, but I'm unable to get that message, and it is basically it is not working. This message part is not working. So what is the issue? Let's check here. Basically you can see I'm getting as an error here, right? So I'm just passing as an error here. So I need to, whenever the user login, whether I'll be getting a user information, or whether I'll be getting a loader, or whether I'll be getting a message. In the place of an error here, so I'm just going to tell here a MESSAG message over here. I need to load, I need to get the data as a message over here. That is the one thing. I'm just going to get it, and here I need to just change this set messages, right? So where I'm going to use here, so where I'm using this message. So if I just come back here, where I'm using guys, so here, okay, this is the message is correct, that's correct here, and somewhere I'm using this message, right? So let me comment out this okay, let me check why this is happening. So basically I don't need this specific message here, right? I can just simply just copy it. Or what I'll do here is I'm just going to keep it message there, so I'm going to keep it as an error. So whenever there is an error, right, so I'm just going to just display this error over here rather than the message. I'm just going to display the error message over here. If there is an error and there is a message variant, I need to just display this message. So let me see what happens. So you can see now I'm able to get it. No active account found this given credentials. So I was able to see this kind of information. Okay, I think these messages I am not using anywhere, so I'm just going to remove this message from here, and yeah, all the things is getting perfect now. So the next part over here, so next part here is I wanted to just I want to add one more condition. If there is a loading, I wanted to just display the loading part as well, right? So I have just created something here. You can see I have created, we are getting a loader here as well. So if there is a loading, I need to just simply load this loader here, right? So where I can just display that part. So I'll just tell here. So yeah, if there is a message, just display the message, and if there is a loading, I'm just going to tell if there is a loader, you can just use this loader. And same thing I'm going to put it into our sign up screen as well. So if there is a loader, you need to just display that specific loader over there. So let me come back here. So yeah, after this I'm just going to display this. If there is a loader, just get the loader over here. I have been used over here. That's perfect. Now if I just come back over here, so if I see, if I'll go here, if I come back to the login, so if I just go back to the sign up, you can see I was able to come back to the login over here as well. So you can see here I am able to see there is no active account found with the given credentials. So I wanted to evaporate that kind of a message after a few seconds. That things we can do it, but let me log in with the correct credentials here. So let me go to the Control-Shift-N, and I'll just go back to my administration. And I wanted to delete each and every data from here. I mean to say, I need to delete every users from the admin. So I'm just going to log in as anis@gmail.com and ANEES. So once I log in this, so you can see I have a lot of users where we have created. So I'm just going to remove every user except an admin. So I'm just going to delete all the users from here. So once the user logged in as okay, saying me user ERK pro coder has added to this many information. I don't want to delete the admin as well. Okay, I'll just remove this, and I'm just going to click on to go ERK pro. Let me just added okay, log entry ERK pro, change the steps, super user, and is okay, camera. Okay, let me delete it later, we'll see what happens. Okay, not to worry about. Now we have only two users, that's ERKprocoder@gmail.com, and this is the user, and this user also has some information. Let me see what is the data has been entry has been deleted or not. So yeah, the data is there, not an issue. Okay, because I have added from my own. So let me sign up now. So now whenever I sign up, right, I need to make use of the Gmail part now. So this sign up and all we have seen later, I don't want to dig into it. So now I want to just only focus on to the Gmail part of it. Let me come back to the Chrome over here. So sorry, let me come back to this specific part. Now whenever the backend runs, right, so if I just go to the backend views.python file, so in the backend views we have commented out the piece of code. So this I have just shown you for the normal user, right? So you can see the version of normal user I have shown directly. I'm just storing the information of the user, and I'm serializing it, and all the things has been happening correctly. But I don't want it to use this now. I'm just going to comment out this, and I wanted to make use of this. Is only for the people who has their professional emails or their email third-party email is working. Okay, so only for those you can work on to this part. If you don't, if you can debug that part, that is if you are using a normal Gmails, like as I said, right, in your settings.python file, let's go back to your settings. Where is it? Is the settings? In the settings, I need to give the user email host user and the email host password, right? So if the your Gmails are working, give your Gmail ID and give your Gmail ID password, and comment out this line and uncomment the line number 179, and make sure you are activating your two-factor authentication and two-step verification. And there was something you need to create some password, it seems. If you do that, it is allowing you the send the messages from the third-party application. If it is working fine, you can free feel to use it. Or if you have anyone has tried, please comment out into the session and let other helps to debug that. If you are having some professional emails, like I'm just going to make use of my professional email, anis@erkprocoder.com over here. Okay, so I'm going to make use of this. I'll use my professional email password here. Later I'll update it, and in using this, I'm just going to make use of this functionality now. Now whenever a user does the sign up, I'm making active false and I'm generating some token, and I'm just going to send that specific message. And I wanted to, after sending it, so basically it happens something like it will just give some kind of a response, or else it goes to the message as a e as a details over here. It is going to pass the message to this one. So now I want something like we are sending a response here, right? And I wanted to send that message as well. So I wanted to send that message to the user. I wanted to just display that. Okay, basically I don't want to use it. I'll be getting into my email, right? That is what happens. So let me do one thing. Let me add once in the settings.python file. I'm just going to add the password here. I'm just going to add the password into my another screen. Okay, so once I add the specific password, I'm just going to cancel the screen. I'm just going to come back here. I have added the password into my settings of my Gmail. Now what I'll do here is I'm just going to all the things is working fine. Even my server is also running perfectly. Now coming back to my page, let me do the sign up over here. So I'm just going to tell as Anis. I'm just going to tell here as Khan over here, and I'm going to give the email address of it. So I'm just going to tell ANEESURREHMAN423@gmail.com over here, and I'm going to give the password ERK@123.456. okay, so I'm going to make use of the same password, ERK@123.456. okay, only one time. Okay, so once I click on to a sign up, so I can see it is going to the request. It has been taken. So after taking a request, it's going to this no active user phone. So basically this message is there. It is not going it. Okay, here it's take the request, and what happened here? So something, yeah, you can see I got the payload over here. Basically it's taking some time. So you can see once I take it here, it's going to get this. It got affected, and I got after few seconds I got the payload of it. Basically I need to load this until I get a payload, right? I need to use that loader part, and I need to give it over here. So this message, the no active account found with the given credential. So I'm getting this one, right? Because what happened here, right? So here, if I just come back to the code, whenever a user does this sign up, so what happens? It returns the user's token with the and responds the data here. So it is what happening. And if I come back to your login screen, so here you can see here what happened. Sign up request we did, and we got a sign up success over here. Let me check whether I got an email or not. So whether I got an email or not. So if I just come back over here, if I just go back to the Gmail of it, so I can see into my Gmail, I would have get that specific email. You can see I got it here as a hi, and you can just activate your account. You can see just by clicking this account, you can just activate. I'm getting this kind of a message over here, right? So now what I need to do here is, so whenever I activate this URL, so let me rather than showing this message, right, I wanted to just show some kind of a message like whenever I does the sign up, it has to tell please activate your account, just check out your email, please click to check out your email and activate your account. I have to get that message over there, right? So it is giving this message. So let's see the flow, how it's going on now. Coming back to my sign up, so whenever I click on to a sign up, sorry, where is the button login, where is it? In our sign up screen, right? So whenever I just does the sign up button, so whenever I click on to the button sign up, it is going to take the form submit, and it's taking this submit handler. It will just check all the validations. If it is all done, so basically it is going to be a dispatch this data, and it is going to set a message sign up is success over here. So that's what happened. But what happened there means, so it is okay, this is what happened. It has to happen basically. If I just go to this specific dispatch event, it is a sign up dispatch event. So whenever I go to the dispatch event sign up, so it is going to this sign up dispatch event. Like if I just come here, it will take the data, and it's taking the request. Basically until and receive and response, I have to wait it over here. So it has to, can see it goes to this URL and pass this, and sign up is success, payload is data. I'm getting it here. Okay, so you can see the local storage set item to the user info. I'm able to, so basically I'm setting this user information, that is the local storage dot set item user info as a JSON URL. So I don't want to do this, I guess. So if I just come back to my application here, if I just come back to this application, so you can see whatever the data I have just created it, the data has, the information has been stored here, right? You can see the information has been stored. So due to that, I was able to get that stuff, this stuff. So I don't want, whenever I do it, I don't want this to happen over there. Okay, so I'll just going to do one thing. I'm just going to run a logout here. So let me run a logout URL. So once I log out it, so once I log out, whether, okay, so let me, okay, this URL is, we don't have a URL for this, right? So let me come back to the home function now. So the home function, I'm just going to go back to the sign up again. Now I want to delete it, this one. I'm just going to delete this information. So I'll saying here, so whenever I does this one, whenever I does this payload, user sign up success, the data I'll be passing. So I don't want to payload as well anything from the user. So I need to just act until and unless I activate it. I don't want this to happen. So I'm just going to comment out this line. I don't want these things to be there. Okay. So this, I don't want this local storage. I don't want to set any kind of a local storage system information from here whenever I does it. So I can just, rather than storing this, I can just store something like set item. So I'm going to comment out above one. So I'm just going to store one activate message. So I'm going to mention as an activate message over here. So in this activate message, I wanted to just set something, something like please activate your account. Okay, I'm just going to just here as a, so whenever it happen, what is happening, let's check it here. So basically whenever I just serialize data, so serialize and it does send us data. That is what is happening it. So in this case, I want something to send it. I'll just set it here in active. Okay, please activate your account. I'm going to just mention as a please activate your account. Please activate your account. I'll just tell please activate your account with the link received in mail. So I'm just going to mention something, whatever you want you can just mention. I'm just going to display this message. I'm just going to set this message, activate message over there. Okay, so once I do this one, let's see what happens now. So let me come back to the sign up here. So first and foremost, I'm just going to delete the user data here. You can see I have an user Rahman here, and I can see he is not an active user, and I'm just going to delete this from my database, and I'm just going to come back over here. Let me log in it again. So I'm going to tell it as Anis. I'll just tell Khan over here. I'll just tell ANEESURRE and 423 @gmail.com and ANES at 1234. So let's make use of this. Do it. Click onto your button sign up. So once I do the sign up, it went to the login screen. So once the success happens, so if I just come back to the specific part of this. Now you can see once the success happened, you can see I got an active message over here. So I got something like as the activate message, please active your account, the link has been received, something I was able to set it over here. So I was got some message over here. So now once what I do here, so here until and I receive a data, I want to make that loading part. I wanted to make use of that loading. Until and I receive that loader part, I wanted to make use of a loading. So let's come back here, where that specific loader. So this is a product, this is a product stuffs. So coming back to your user actions, so basically I'll come back to your loading screen here. So here I can just tell if there is a loader, you have to just keep on loading it, right? So I wanted to, if there is a loader, I wanted to just keep on loading, and I don't want to just display any kind of things to it. So I have implemented that thing into our product screen. You can see whenever we are loading, if there is a loading, I need to just display the loader. Okay, or else I need to just display this. If there is an error, I need to make use of this error message, or else I need to just make it use of this. So let me copy this entire part of this. I'm going to copy this entire thing from here. That this is very important, is very helpful. I'll just come back to my login screen, and here I'm just going to mention it over here. I'm just going to make use of this. If there is a loader, make use of loader. If there is any error message, just pass the error message, or else I wanted to just display this things over here, right? So I'm just going to make use of this. So I hope this is correct. Yeah, so I'm just going to copy this entire card, and I wanted to just copy this entire card to the card. I'm just going to cut this, and I'm just going to paste this over here. Okay, so once I paste it, all the things is perfect, and along with that, I don't want okay, let it be this error message. If there is a loader, you have to, if there is error message, it has to show the error message. This at that time, at this case, I don't want these things to be there here, so I'm just going to remove this. I'm just going to right click and format the document from here, and I wanted to do the same thing for the point. I'll just come back again, and I'll refresh this. I'll delete this stuffs. I'm just going to delete from the database, and I'm just going to come back to the sign up screen, and sorry, I'm going to just come back to the sign up screen. You can see it is not giving me the sign up part over here, because let me remove this function format, because I have something here, right? So that is why it is giving like that. So now it will go to the our sign up screen. It will go in. Okay, so now see here, I one more thing I don't want it to show in this way. So I'm just storing right in this user info, in the user's login screen. In the login screen, or where, yeah, in the login screen, sorry, in the sign up screen. In the sign up screen, I'm just checking like this. In this case, if there's a user info, you have to do in this case. So I'm going to tell you, if there's a user info, it's fine, you need to do it, but I don't want to do in that way. So let me do one thing. Let me come back to my login screen, or into my actions. That is a user action, and here is there, right now I'm just going to comment this part. Let me come here and comment it, and let's come back to the sign up page. Now I'm just going to do again. So I'm going to tell here as an is I'm going to just take it as an email, surrehman423 @gmail.com, and I'm just going to tell ANEES at 12345, and I'm just going to make use of the same thing, and it's @12345. Just click on to a sign up. Okay, so as I go to the sign up again, the loader is not visible. Basically, if there is a, the loader is not passing, I guess. So we are not passing some kind of a loader. This all of that happens here. So at this case, now the things is happen basically once I'll be receiving an email. So you can see if I just come back over here, I was able to receive the email for 3 times over here. This is for the right hand one. Basically, if I just click on to this link, what happens? So once I click onto this, you can see the account has been activated successfully, and I wanted to just display, like, once it is activated successfully, I wanted to redirect this specific message, and I wanted to display into our login screen. That is what I want. That will be the, that is the main step. I need to do it. A few things how to operate this. So now coming back to the first part of the text, like let's come back to the screen. So imagine now we have already an Instagram, like the email already exists, right? This is the data which is already exist. So I want to do one thing, like first and foremost, I'll come back to my backend part here. I'm just going to say if the already user is exist, I wanted to show some kind of a message in this way, like the user with this email already exists, or something has been went wrong of it. In this way, I wanted to just display it, and along with that, and imagine I want to, if the image is success, the specific sign up is success, I wanted to just show him the message, something like a sign up has been success, like kind of thing. So I'm going to tell here as the sign up is a success. I'm going to tell here as a activate your account. Please check out your email. Okay, please check the link in Gmail. Okay, so I'm going to tell activate account. Please check the link in Gmail, or please click the link in Gmail. I'll just tell. Okay, so please click the link in Gmail for account activation. So I'm going to just say this is the message for the user. Okay, so this is a message I'll be sending if the user is there, or else I'm just going to send this kind of a message over here. So when this message happens, it will just go link. Once the user click onto that link, this specific class is going to run, and this all the data which is going to get activated, right? These all the things that happen. So now let's check out, let's come back to our front end screen over here. So the front end screen, what I'm going to do here is basically whenever I retrieve some information, like if I just go to the user actions here, so that things is going to remain same, the user sign up success and the data, and if it is success, it loads the data, it takes the data from the response, and it just goes to us. And here I'm not going to set any kind of a local system or a local information. So if you want to set it, you can just set it, and I guess I don't need to require this kind of things over here, okay, into my backend. So it's going to come in the form of a payload data. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to remove these two things from here. Okay, just save this, and coming back to the user reduces, so there is no change over here. Now coming back to our sign up screen, in the sign up screen, what I'll tell here is if there is a user information, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to set this some kind of a user information. Basically, I'll be getting as a user info. So whenever there is a success, we'll receive the response, right? We'll receive the specific response, whatever the response will be there. that response we are going to store it into the user info that we have seen. This user, using this user info, I'm just going to tell which is the user info dot details. If there is any kind of a information user info, what I'll do here is I'm just going to set that specific message to the user info dot details. I'm just going to tell from the details you need to access it and you need to just show it, and don't navigate to any other things. So let's, I'm going to remove this part over here. Just do this part of things to me. So once it's done, coming back to our screen, now let's try to do this. Let's see what happens. Now I'm going to come back to our sign up screen. The sign up screen, I'm going to just refresh the entire module. I'm just going to give the message, like I'm just going to tell it as Anis. I'm going to just tell it as a Khan here. Let me give the same email, whether that works or not. Let's verify. anisrahman@423@gmail.com, and I'm just going to tell here as a test@1234 and test@1234. So once I click on to a sign up, you can see I got a sign up success message. Then I'm getting something called as a user with this email already exists. That things, the things is working perfectly. So this is what I wanted. But from where that use sign up success I am coming, let me check that. Sign up success itself. So from where it is coming? So I don't remember. Let me just search it into our application level. Let's tell here as a SIGNUP sign up success. Not there. SIGNUP sign up success. If I just search it, okay, it is not finding anywhere else. So I don't know from where that thing got it. Okay, that things we'll see later. But basically I wanted these things to get. You can see user already email exists and something went on. I'm getting it away. That's fine, right? Now I want to do something extra things as well here. When these things happens, right, when the things is happen like this, I wanted to, whenever we are just, there is some kind of a user information, what I need to do here is I need to just set the message, and I wanted to just make this all the values to empty over here. So I'm just going to just create it here as use state. We are just setting this. I wanted to just set all the first name to empty and last name, all those things to empty over here. Okay, I'm just going to tell if there is any user information. If I get, I wanted to just make it this, and I'm just going to tell it as I said the specific, or else I can just redirect him back to the login screen. Let's see if I just navigate to the login, how I'll be able to see it over here. So I'm going to just it as a navigate this thing. So basically if I just navigate to the login, right, what happens if there is an error, we'll be going to the login page. I don't want that to happen, right? So what I'll do here is I'm going to keep it this as it is, and I'm just going to tell here as I set the specific f name to empty. So all the values I'm just going to keep it as an empty. Set the specific l name to empty over there, and I wanted to just set the specific email to the empty. It is email f name l name, yeah, email is empty, and I'm just going to tell as I said the specific password 1 to empty, and set the specific password 2 to empty over here. So just I'm just going to save it like this. So you can see once I just happens like this. So once you can see all the things got empty over there. And I wanted to do one thing like this data we can just do it. We'll be adding some set timeout function, those things later. We'll see that part. Okay. Now coming back here, I'm just going to delete this specific email from here. Now again, I'm just going to activate from here. I'm just going to refresh this specific page. Once I refresh, the things is getting on. So I'm going to just tell here as Anis. I'm just going to get it as a Rahman over here. I'm just going to tell Anis you or E, so ANWS or E HMAN 423@gmail.com, and I'm just going to activate test@1234 and copy the same thing, paste it over here. Just click on to sign up. You can see sign up is success. I'm getting message but at the time of a request, and you can see once the request is completed, I'll be getting a message like activate your account, please check that link into the email for a account activation. So I got the things what I was expecting, and along with that you can see all the values has been gone from the form. That's what I wanted it here. And when I come back to the email address now, let me go to the Gmail here. So once I go to the Gmail address, so imagine, so once I got it, I got this data like activate your account with this link over there. So you can say I got this link over here. So when I click onto this link, basically it goes to the backend part of our URLs, and it will just take the specific method called this activate account, and it is just going to send us the activate success, or if it is failure, it will go to the failure page over there. Now what I wanted to do here is I'll just come back to the activate success.html page. So activate success is here. So activate success is here. So what I'll do here is from here I wanted to just redirect back to the login page, right? I wanted to redirect back into the login page. So I'm just going to paste this things over here. Whatever is there, account is activated successfully. Some message I'll just take in, display it, and I'm just going to tell here as a activate success. So once the activation is been success, from here I wanted to write one small script. So this script is going to send a specific user to the login page. Okay, so let's write that script. So the script is, so whenever Windows getting loaded, I'm going to just make the reference to this specific URL. So right now this is in the local host. When we do it for our production part, at the time we need to come back and we need to remove this because we are not going to use it. Just you can use a slash method for the redirection. So that takes the one specific IP address for validation. So just for this is for a testing purpose we are doing this. So once we've done this, let's see. So whenever I click onto this link, so you can see once I click onto this, account activated is successfully. So I got a message I showed. You can see it is redirecting back into the login page over here. So the same thing I'm just going to do it for the logout if there is anything is failed. Okay, so the things is getting failed. What I wanted to do here is, so I'm just going to do something like this, and I'm just going to add the script. So this script I'm just going to cut it. I'm just going to script script. I'll add some kind of a script here. I'm just going to add the script script. So this time I'm not going to send him back to the login page. I'm just going to send him back to the sign up page itself. Okay, so with that activation fail method, and along with that I'm just going to display one message. The account is, I'm going to tell account activation is failed. So if there is something goes wrong, it is going to go to this specific URL. So imagine if I just go back again, if I just click onto the same link, so you can see here what will be account activation is getting failed and it's going to the sign up page. So basically only one time the link is getting access, that's it. Okay, so basically we have activated our account in the previous stuff. So now I can log in with the credential. You can see if I just log in with that credential, and it's rahman423@gmail.com. so I'm going to just tell here as a so what I have given, I don't remember, test@1234. Whether I have given the same thing, let's check. 1 2 3 4. If I just click on to a login, you can see, yeah, I have given the same thing. You can see I have logged in as Anis Rahman. If I just click on to a logout, I just gone to the logout page over here. I have been logged out from the session now. So this is what I wanted to applicable. Now I wanted to do one thing, right? So I'm just going to come back to the screen. So I'm just going to refresh the page. I have a user here. So I wanted to make the process fast here. I wanted to just make the entire process fast at the time of a sign up. So for that particular thing, we are going to implement something called as a threads here. So basically whenever we are sending an email, right? So you can see whenever there is an email, this getting, the page is getting loaded and the response is getting a little bit slower, right? So here you can see once it is going to wait until these things is getting applicable. So what I'll do here is I'm going to apply the concept of threading. So that makes the things faster. Okay. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to come back here and I'm going to write one specific class for it, like for threading concept. So first I need to import the threading over here. So I've imported this threading module. So once I imported the threading module, I'm going to make use of this threading module for handling the emails. So I'm just going to write one specific class. I'm going to mention here as email thread over there. So this going to do what? I'm going to use of a threading dot thread thread method. So this class is going to run. It is going to, whenever this getting called, it is just going to call the constructor, that is our init method. So I'm going to make use of this init method over here. So it's giving so many stuffs. Okay, so I'm going to use it as a init. So it's going to take a self here, and I wanted to just take the information, that is the email message, whatever it is there. Okay, so this message it is going to take, and it is just going to initialize it. So I'm going to tell here as a self dot email message is initialized to email message over there. So once it is that, I'm just going to make use of a threading to make it the process fast. So I'm going to tell you as a threading dot thread dot, I'm just going to call the self method, that is our init method again. So I'm going to just pass the self argument over there. That's it. So this is what we have done. So once we do this is basically initialize the constructor. So once it's initialized the constructor, I need to run the method. So it is going to take one method called as run method. It's going to run the method. So it takes the against the method self argument, and whatever the self dot email is there, right? Email message. So whatever the self dot email dot message is there, I wanted to just call the send method over here. So I'll take the self dot email dot send method to send the specific email over there. That is what we are going to do. So once we have done, so then what we are going to do it is wherever our email is getting started. So here our email message is getting started, right? And here where we are using a send method. So rather than using the send method, so I'm just going to make use of the email thread. So I'm going to make use of the email thread class. So in the email thread class, I'm just going to pass this email message, whatever the data we are having, that I'm just going to call it, and I'm just going to call the start method of it. I'm just going to apply the start method. So this starts the thread, and once it's initialized, and it's just send the run method over there. That's it. This was going to do it. So I think all the things is working fine now. So if I just come back here, our server is also running up to run. Now let's do the testing part of it. So I'm just going to come back to our sign up page. In the sign up page, I'm going to just do again, and I'll just tell as Rahman over here. I'm just going to tell ANEESURREHMAN and 423@gmail.com. I'm just going to mention the password test@1234. I'm going to make use of the same test one. I'm going to use it as we test here as well. So now what I'll do here is I'm just going to click on to a sign up. So once I click on to a sign up, you can see it's very fast. The process was a little bit fast, right? Previously you saw it was a little bit slow. Now you can say activate your account to this. So let me go to my email. So you can see still I didn't get the email, but whatever the things happened, it was very fast here. So here you can see now I got the email. Now if I just click on to this link, you can see the account will get activated, and it will redirect back into the login page over there. So this is what I want expecting. So all the things is working perfectly. So let me log in, test it, and it's Rahman 423@gmail.com, and I'm going to just paste the password. If I just paste the password and just log in it, so you can see I'm getting as a welcome over here and getting a logout page over here. This is what I wanted it. So all the things are working as expected, whichever I was wishing for. All the things are working. So in the next session, we are going to integrate the specific add to cart stuffs. Like we are going to see how we are going to add to cart this product, and we'll create a cart session. So once we complete that, then I think we can look on to the concept of resetting a password. So that things we'll see later, but I wanted to just make, I don't want to know, a lot of authentication system happened, right? So things we have learned. We are just going to make use of the other functionalities. Let's work on to the next session onto the add to cart product. And once it is done, we are going to see onto the registration page, like ordering a final order. Then we are going to look onto a payment integration. Then we are going to look onto an administration part, like how we can create our custom admin things. So we are going to see a lot of things, guys. So please subscribe to my channel. So with a lot of difficulties, I am uploading these all stuff. So which is my experience, based on my experience and whatever I have learned. I am trying my best to give you all this information related to this website e-commerce. So I'll catch you with the next session. Take care. Bye bye.